He's focusing in on all the words he's going to say.
He's not listening.
Good morning. I called to order the October 1st meeting of 2019 of the Saline County Board of Commissioners. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Shadwick?
Here.
Commissioner Sparks?
Here.
Commissioner Vidrickson?
Here.
Commissioner Weiss?
Here.
Commissioner White?
Here.
I ask that you please stand and join me in the flag salute, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And thank you. We now move to the public forum portion of our meeting where the citizens may speak on county government, usually limited to 3 minutes and not pertaining to items that are on today's agenda. Does anyone wish to speak? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the commission for regular business. Item number 1.
Approve agenda for public forum as presented.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the agenda for the public forum as presented.
Second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve today's agenda for the public forum. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. The motion does carry. Item number 2.
Approval of county commission minutes for September 24th, 2019.
Mr. Chairman, I move we accept the county commission minutes of September 24th, 2019 as presented.
Second the motion.
It has been moved and seconded that we approve and accept the county commission minutes of September 24th, 2019. Are there any corrections or additions? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 3.
Road and Bridge update with Darren Fischel, Road and Bridge Administrator.
Good morning, Darren.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Commissioners. This is our update for the third quarter for 2019. We had some administrative stuff. We did do the initial FEMA and KDM meetings for the flood relief, but with 60 counties, we haven't had the second round yet. They're still working on getting around everybody. Our training room had 2 regional events for the Kansas County Highway Association out at our shop. And we sent 1 employee to 2 different training courses. During the summer months, we really slow down on sending people to training, especially this year with the floods. We've needed everybody we've had. Dustin and I went to a mink conference last week in St. Joe, Missouri, which is a really good conference. It is focused towards road officials and road work, and it's a one-day conference, so it's pretty easy to get to. The rural operators have been doing some ditch laybacks and some flood repair as the weather allows, and we did rent a motor grader to assist with the flood repair. So at one time we had 16 motor graders operating for about a month just to get the roads passable. We took the 3 we had in the yard and we rented 1 and just getting over the roads to make them passable. So we've been concentrated on flood repair. We've done some trash pickups when the weather allows. We did dirt patch the senior center parking lot until they can get something done there. Just talk a little bit about the flood. When retrieval of aggregates, this stuff here is too wet to work with, and then it had washed into the ditch. So we go and retrieve that as quickly as possible and just put it up there for the motor grader operator to work into the road at a later date when it dries out, and he can slowly work that over. And then we get these kind of washouts where it just removes everything. Typically it just washes the aggregate into the roads, into the ditches, and through the drainage structures. Not all drift is wood. So what we have is we have some drift here of our road aggregates, and when they plug the structures, we need to go clean them out. Or we get hay bales that float off across the road and into drainage structures. And this is a new one. I've never seen drift like this. This was on Country Club Road, and it floated a storage container up against it. So that's how high the water was there, and that's where it came to rest. And then where the water overtops the road, sometimes we lose the road. And then looking right here at this drift, even though there's a bridge here, it's clear that the water topped this bridge. This is a low water crossing, and you can see the high bank there and just about how deep the water gets there. This is some shoulder repair work that we did on Simpson and Kip Road. It rained, the water didn't go over the road there, but it rained so hard in a short period of time that it washed the aggregate off the edge of the roadway. And so this is some culvert repair on Hedberg Road east of Muir Road that we had scheduled work. And there was about 3 culverts there. And this is a box entrance culvert, and we contacted engineering, and they sized a culvert for it. So there was quite a bit of savings for being able to replace that with a pipe instead of having to put a box culvert back in that. This is down on Woodward Road south of Assaria Road. 2 culverts, an entrance culvert, and then a crossroad culvert. This is a culvert failure on Cloud Street east of Niles with all the high waters and the fast drainage that we had. Weak spots showed up in the culverts, and this is a band right here, and the band had rusted out and the 2 culverts had separated, and when that happened it washed the rest of the culvert out. This is on Simpson Road, culvert replacement. This gentleman here was actually had 2 entrances, and he allowed us to remove both and replace it with just one. Here's some work on Muir Road south of Thorstenberg where the hay bales got into the drainage, and we had to go in and clean those out. And we do project work out. This is another entrance box that we were able to replace with a corner. This work was planned in January, and with all the floods we've got behind, and that's that entrance culvert. This is on Honig Road north of Fallen. Entrance culvert for replacement. This is the culvert on Simpson Road that failed. When we did Simpson Road, we looked at this culvert, but the failure was deep inside the culvert where there was a band, and we don't have any way to scope culverts like they do sewer line, where they run a camera down there. This is on Waterwell Road over by the Land Institute. This is the road that's getting paved this fall. We wanted to get in there and replace this culvert before they paved it. This is Kingman Road, just east of the city of Gypsum, that we rebuilt 1 mile of. There was some entrance culverts, a lot of trees in the drainage ditches. We went in there and cleaned all that out, replaced some culverts, moved some culverts, and then allowed for the drainage a little better.
And those last 2 pictures are the same portion of a road?
Yes, yes. And then this is looking from the east west towards Gypsum. This is a box on Salinsburg Road that was washed out during the first flood. This is a box we had built. And if you can see, it undermined. When the water came over, it got under there, and it kept the soil out from underneath the blocks. So we had to go in there, and we put a wing wall on it this time. When we rebuilt it, we put a Lego block wing wall to keep the water from getting in behind it, and then we also poured a concrete floor in the bottom of it. And this was the deck. We lifted off the deck, and then we reused it. And then this is what the project looks like completed. This is just a little information here. This is the May flood. Every dot represents a place or an area that needed repair. As you can see, the May flood was mostly along the Mulberry up here, and then a lot of this that came off the bottom and Dry Creek. Just a few areas over here. This would be the Saline River. And then this is what we call the June flood, which was mainly up along the Saline and the Solomon River, right in through this area. And then this is what we call the July 4th flood, which was mostly the east part of the county, where they had about 8 inches of rain in an hour or 2 down by Gypsum. You can see it's all just Gypsum Valley. And then a lot of flooding up here on the Saline And the Smoky Hill River occurred because these rivers were full, and so Gypsum Valley couldn't drain like it normally would because of the reservoirs letting out, and so those rivers backed up there. And so the damage here, even though it shows damage, wasn't really bad because that water was slow. But this here, up Gypsum Valley, that was an amazing mess. That's just a little bit of information. FEMA has lumped all three of these events together into one, but we kept them separate so we would be able to know our progress for the whole event and what the costs were for each one. So the May flood repairs complete with a total cost of $427,908. The June flood repairs 75% complete for $203,270. The July flood repair is 84% complete, $243,808. To date, totals is $874,986,000. That's $248,845 in labor, $191,046 in equipment, and $435,095 in materials. So all of those dots on those maps represented 1,008 tasks, which were places that we had to go repair. We have 88 left, so that leaves us for all three of them just a little bit over 90% complete.
You said 1,000 tasks
Yes, 1,008.
and 88 to go?
Yes.
So if you take that and compare it to the number of miles that we have, that's one task for every single mile in the county, or
Yeah,
they're
that's
really
pretty
close
close.
to that.
Yes.
Amazing.
That's all I have. If you have any questions.
And no, can I say something? Because Darren, I just want to compliment you because I went out and I'd been out here before. We did work on these roads and some of them, and so I wanted to go out and check this Kingman Road out east of Gypsum, and really the people out there are really tickled pink, you know, with the assistance that the Road and Bridge deal and the road superintendent. They are just think that he just bent over backwards to when they would ask something, he'd take care of it for them, but they're like, and even around the other roads of the way that we're started to lay back some of the ditches and pull and do some things that they've asked for years and years. So I just want to let you know that I think some of what's going on right now is being noticed by the
Good.
customers out there. So
We made efforts,
Yes.
you know, to, because of the flood and the conditions of the roads, we felt it was the perfect time
Yep.
to go make those things, because try and get them back into shape, we might as well get some of the ditches pushed back and the crown back in the roads.
I'm going to piggyback onto that a little bit and publicly acknowledge the efforts that was made by the entire Road and Bridge crew throughout the summer. They gave up every one of their weekends in July to work on roads, and you know that's prime camping time, golfing time, whatever their hobbies are in the summertime, and they gave up their entire month of July weekends to keep their nose to the grindstone. And I want to say on behalf of the commission, thank you to you and your staff at the Road and Bridge. So thanks very
We
much.
appreciate it. Also, if we are having a luncheon Friday for 3-year appreciation for our employees for working 3 calendar years without a lost time accident, you're more than welcome to join us.
That in and of itself is amazing. When you have 3 years of no lost time for work accidents, and look at the equipment that they're working with and the number of people that are around those swinging cranes or excavators, or just somebody bending over and picking up something that weighs 200 pounds. And it's amazing to me that they can do that for 3 years and not have a lost time accident. So congratulations on that to you and your staff again.
The
So,
staff, yeah, they've really bought into safety.
Exactly. Anyone else? Mike, you got something?
One other project I've been asked about, Darren, that's shouldering on Brookville Road. Is that in the schedule or forthcoming?
It
or-
is forthcoming. It was one of those that was put off due to the flooding this year. So hopefully next year, if we have a good year, we have material located for the project.
All righty, thank you, sir.
Any other comments or questions? If not, we'll go into other business, and I'm going to ask that Commissioner Weiss give us a little update. I know that he was on the committee, if it is a committee, that met with Trainer this week regarding kickoff for the jail project. So, Jim, if you could give us a little update on what happened at that meeting?
A short synopsis of, it was a focus group that got together. Trainer wanted to get some history and some background on what had happened in the past and try to get a roadmap for where we want to go in the future. First part of the day was pretty much spent with the group setting up goals and objectives for the meeting and the path forward. I wasn't able to give them much history on past jail informations, but there were people there. Rita Deister was there, and the sheriff, of course, was there, and they had the history of all of that. Sergeant Miller gave quite a bit of information on existing programs that are going on in the jail. And I was amazed at the number of programs they do have, and they're trying to get for the inmates. But there again, you have the logistics of 78 people that are in other counties that you can't give these programs to and give them the help and such. So they discussed some of the needs. Some of them that were quite evident was the lack of any medical facilities, mental health facilities inside the jail. One thing that stood out in Trainer's mind was how poorly the booking area is set up and things that need to be done there. Trainer also spent some time sharing with us and is going to bring back to us programs nationwide that are going on that help with the jail populations as far as giving some help to the inmates for recoveries. Jim Robertson gave a very in-depth report on what his review of what his report was about, everything that he has been sharing with us in meetings in the past. He shared them with Trainer to make sure that they understood the numbers, how he came to those numbers, and after lunch we met again, toured the jail, looked at some of the needs that they pointed out. The 1965 jail, and I think it's important that the public knows that we do have a jail that was built in 1965 that we're using right now for our female population. And the standards of what jail should be has changed dramatically in these past 55 years and 60 years that jail's been in operation and is still in operation. So we toured the jails, both the newer facility and the older facility. Walked around the exterior of the complex. And Trainer I think they're really going to be thinking outside the box. They had some questions: go up, go out, maybe get some land, maybe go green space. So they're going to bring some conceptual ideas back to us to mull over after collecting all the information they had from this focus group. And all in all, it was a very productive meeting. And we're just waiting for Trainer to come back with some conceptual ideas of a path forward, what we might do. So that's about it, Chairman.
All right, thank you. I'd also like to announce that our group met yesterday and interviewed 4 candidates for the vacant administrator's position. And I think we will have some information, some solid, concrete information on where we're headed with that within a short period of time. So look forward for some announcements in that area coming pretty quickly too. So Hannah, is there anything you would like to further update us on or whatever in the public forum here?
No,
I'll just caveat is on Commissioner Weese's comments. The meeting that we had last Wednesday was an excellent meeting. I think there was just a lot of information that was shared and exchanged. So I'm very promising. It was very enlightening to have some good conversation with Trainer as well as the other people that were in that room. Looking forward to moving forward with that.
Okay, well, we're looking forward to fast progress in that situation also. Are there any other announcements from the commissioners? Seeing none, then I would take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we adjourn today's meeting. All those in favor say aye. Aye. We're adjourned. We will meet in their 107B for a study session here. Thank you.